Assalamu alaikum. Jum'ah Barakah to everyone who's joining us today. Brothers and sisters, welcome to our third ladies lecture by Sister Hend, our guest speaker who joined us in the very first Friday 2 weeks ago, and it's a pleasure to have her again today. So for those who don't know Hend is a registered pharmacist. She's also a nutritionist. She continues to work in both professions. She is the author of Fitra Nutrition. Fitra Nutrition is an educational platform that provides advice and one-to-one services. The aim of Fitra Nutrition is to empower people to take control of their health. She has recently published her second edition of the Ramadan Nutrition Guide, which is out of stock now. So you can still buy the online version of it on the website Fitra Nutrition. Today, Hend will be talking to us about fatigue. So without further ado, I pass over to Hend. Thank you very much, Hend.
Thank you, Jazakallah khair, Asma. Okay, Assalamu alaikum everyone. So I'm just gonna screen share my PowerPoint. Okay, so hopefully you can see that, inshallah. So today I'm going to be talking to you about how to combat fasting fatigue during Ramadan. Ramadan is the time to fill our days with good deeds and nights with uplifting prayer. But sometimes with all the fasting and lack of sleep, that can take a toll on our bodies. And if we lack the necessary nutrients and the hydration to carry us through the days and nights, that might be a problem. So our energy levels are determined by what we eat, and our bodies convert the fats, the proteins and carbohydrates into our daily energy. So if our diet is less than ideal, it could be a cause of our fasting fatigue. So by taking the necessary steps, we can ensure that Ramadan will uplift us, not only spiritually, but inshallah will uplift us physically as well. So the first point that I really want to emphasize is eating a diverse, nutrient-dense diet and eating enough of it as well. So for example, that is one of the best ways we know that we can optimize our health and reduce our fatigue. And it's not just about eating a diverse, nutrient-dense diet, but also eating enough of it. Because when we're not eating enough, our metabolism slows down, and that it slows down so that our body can actually conserve the energy, and then that potentially causes fatigue. So here I've got basically information about fruit and vegetables and how it's important about how we should eat a rainbow of foods throughout the day, like iftar and suhoor. Here I've got like red, green, purple, white and yellow fruit and veg that we should really try and eat one or two from each category. And I thought this was a good way to highlight all of the fruit and veg from all different categories and how they all help with, health benefits as well. So if we can try and incorporate all of these, or one or two, from each category each day, then that could really, really help our fatigue levels. So alongside the fruit and veg that I mentioned, it's important to have protein, and examples of that is having eggs, meat, chicken, fish, Greek yogurt, lentils, beans, quinoa, nuts and seeds. that protein is great because it stabilizes our blood sugar levels. And then another major component that we should be eating is complex carbohydrates. And examples include like brown rice, oats, bulgur wheat, sweet potatoes, carrots, pumpkins, and green leafy veg. And then the third major component that we should be eating is the healthy fats, nuts and seeds, olives, avocado, coconut oil, and salmon, mackerel, and sardines as well. So it's important to have a very diverse, nutrient-dense diet so we can get the right essentials for our body to help us combat any tiredness or any fatigue. And I spoke about this last time, but I thought it's important to put this in as well. So with everything that I mentioned before about, you know, the colourful fruits and veg, and here the protein, the complex carbohydrate, healthy fats, this is how our iftar and suhoor plate should look like, really, where half of it should be leafy green veg and salad, so trying to incorporate those the rainbow colours, and then having a quarter of that as roots, veg, and whole grains, and then a quarter of that protein. So that basically like encompasses what we should be eating and will help us fill any nutrient gaps within our diet. And an important point to mention is we should really avoid eating very large meals at iftar, and we should try and keep it light and balanced, because I'm sure you've noticed if you have a big meal, that really does contribute to our tiredness and our fatigue. So we should try and make it light and balanced, inshallah. So the second point that I really want to emphasize is hydration. So, and that just doesn't not just include water. Yes, water is the best way to hydrate our bodies, but it's not the only way, as I'll be discussing now. So I spoke last time about how we should be drinking about around 2 liters of water a day, and you can try and split it up. I know it's quite difficult, obviously, with the window of eating is quite small, but for example, if you have one full glass of water just soon as you break iftar, and then you go and pray, and then during between the prayer and the sunnah prayer you take another few sips, and then before you eat you can drink a few more sips there. So try and like break it down. If you have like a big bottle, I think that would help as well, so you can monitor how much you're drinking. So besides water, you can create fruit and herb infused water, such as so like in the picture, you can get like a big jar of water, and then you can include your lemon, cucumber, mint, or berries, just so you can spice things up a bit. And if you're just bored with water, or if you're used to drinking a lot of fruit juices, this is a great way to swap that. Another way to help with hydration is to eat fruit and vegetables that are high in water content. So examples include watermelon, cucumbers, celery, berries, coconut water as well. It's great. So anything like that, you can try and incorporate it in your iftar and suhoor, or in between as well, snacking. Another way to increase our hydration is by drinking soup, broth-based soups, and they're ideal for iftar, especially when they're made with bone broth. Bone broth is abundant in minerals, and it enhances immunity and helps heal the gut and reduce inflammation as well. So there's a lot of benefit with having bone broth. Not only does it help with hydration, but also has a lot of other amazing health benefits as well. Another way to help with hydration is smoothies, and they're great for suhoor. So if you're not really feeling a big meal at suhoor time, then smoothies are a great source for hydration. So here I've took like a little snippet from the Ramadan nutrition guide, just to show you how you can build your healthy, nutritious smoothie, and it's really easy to make. So the first step is get your fruit. Like add in, for example, a cup or a cup and a half of fresh or frozen fruit to the blender. So if you don't have fresh fruit, you can always get the frozen fruit from the supermarket. And also the frozen fruit gives it like this healthy like thickness to it as well, without having to add any water. So you can, if you have, for example, bananas that are going really like spotty, then what you can do is just chop them up and put them in the freezer, and then you can use them for smoothies. And then so first step is having fruit. The second step is adding your greens, for example, spinach or kale. Spinach, you honestly will not taste the spinach in your smoothie whatsoever, and it'll give it that like nice green color. The third step is adding your protein. So again, protein, I really like to emphasize on protein because it helps stabilize your blood sugar levels, and it doesn't like spike it up, especially when you're having your fruit. So a protein you can add in there is like your full fat yogurt or Greek yogurt, or if you have a good quality organic protein powder. So yeah, this is a really essential step, as it will help you feel satisfied. And the fourth step is adding healthy fats in there. So healthy fats could be, for example, ground flax seeds or chia seeds, or peanut butter or almond butter as well. And it'll give it much more of like a satisfying power, and it won't get you hungry right away. And avocado as well, they're great in smoothies as well. It gives it like that creamy texture. And then the fifth step is adding your liquids. So for example, you can add coconut water. Like I mentioned, coconut water is great for hydration anyway. You can add milk. You can just add plain water as well. And then the sixth step, which is like additional, so you can add, for example, on top cinnamon or coconut or cocoa powder or lemon zest or vanilla. So if you want to take a screenshot of that, and then you can try and implement that in your suhoor, inshallah. And it doesn't take that long. It's so quick to do as well. So we spoke about eating a nutrient-dense diet and also hydration. So the third point is avoiding refined, simple carbohydrates. And this includes sugar. So a diet filled with refined, simple carbohydrates such as white pasta, white breads, sugary desserts, and sweetened fizzy drinks, and even fruit juices, they can all contribute to fatigue. So we should limit having simple carbohydrate and focus on more of the whole grains, such as the oats, the sweet potatoes, the quinoa, the brown rice, the freekeh or the barley. And if you do have carbohydrates, for example, if you have fruit, it's always good to combine it with protein or healthy fats to help slow down absorption and to stabilize your blood sugar level. So for example, if you're having an apple, it's always best to combine it with, for example, almonds or almond butter or peanut butter as well, to help it stabilize your blood sugar levels. And the fourth point is to try not to miss suhoor. Having suhoor might not seem like it's enough, like will it give me the right energy to get me through the day kind of thing, but really Allah puts immense blessings in the food that we eat at suhoor. And eating suhoor is more of like a kickstart to your day, and it helps your body stabilize the blood sugar levels, because then the meals are distributed. Instead of having that one big meal at iftar, you're distributing that and having it at suhoor as well. So it's like your body doesn't really get that shock. So a balanced suhoor is composed of complex carbs. I know I keep going on about this a lot, but it's really, really important. Like it's the foundations. So it's important to have your complex carbs, such as your whole grain bread or oats instead of white flour or white bread, and then combine it with protein and a healthy fat. So this combination helps again stabilize your glucose in your blood, which will inshallah sustain you until iftar. And then also don't forget about adding your colourful veg in there as well, and to minimise your intake of sugar and other sweeteners as well, and any processed and refined fruit and food and snacks. So just a point I also want to make is that it's important to do some physical activity as well. So that will really give you that boost of energy and will help combat fatigue. So post-suhoor and morning daytime exercise should be quite low, like low intensity, such as walking, stretching, tai chi or yoga, because you don't want to tire your body out at the same time, but you still want to get the blood flowing. So it's important to do some of those low intensity exercise. And then after iftar, when we have, sorry, not after iftar, before iftar, just before iftar, like say like an hour or so before iftar, then that's when you can do your high intensity, for example, weight training, burpee sprints, HIIT training as well, because that's an hour before iftar, then after that you can go and have your iftar and then replenish those lost nutrients from having the high intensity workout. So as believers, we need healthy bodies and minds in order to worship Allah in the right way. So to maintain a sound mind, a pure heart, and a healthy body, special attention must be paid to our health. Everything we do in life should be in moderation and within a balanced approach to achieve real wholeness. And Ramadan is the time for this. It is the time to rejuvenate our bodies as well as our soul. So inshallah, you can keep these simple tips in mind, and inshallah, we'll all have a successful Ramadan. May it be a beneficial month filled with personal and spiritual growth for us all, inshallah. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, there's my email there and also my website, physicalnutrition.com. I have a lot of blogs on there with a lot of health tips if you're interested with like more information on health, inshallah. So jazakallah khair.
Thank you so much, Hind. That was very, very informative and helpful. Thank you, jazakallah khair. And just from a personal point of view, I've tried your smoothie last suhoor today, this morning,
really?
and I love it. It's very nutritious. You can sense it. So definitely go and try.
What did you include?
Everything from the list, including the coconut from like the extra bit. So I really enjoyed it. It did taste very nutritious.
And it's quick and easy as well, isn't it?
Definitely. And because the banana was running out, I was so happy that it didn't go to the bin instead. So yeah, thank you so much. That was really helpful. And for those who have missed this, you can always find it on Liverpool Muslims on YouTube, because this will be saved there, inshallah. I would like to thank everyone who has joined us today, and I would like to remind you that we have 2 remaining sessions for the day. So at 7:30, we have the Quran recitation circle led by Dr. Muhammad Ad-Dubai. At 10:30, we have the daily reminders by Sheikh Muhammad Al-Shar'i. He's talking about the paradise these days, Jannah. You don't want to listen to that. So do tune in. That will be followed by a competition. So this is targeted at younger generation, the competition, but everyone can take part in it, and you can win an Amazon voucher if you win the Kahoot quiz at the end. Also, I would like to remind you about the Quran competition. It will take place at the end of Ramadan, but there's a deadline for registration, which is the 20th, so on Wednesday next week. So do encourage those under 16 to register and take part. We do have few levels. You can find all information on the website. If you have any comments or feedback, positive or negative, they are both equally important. Please do email salam@liverpoolramadan.uk, salam@liverpoolramadan.uk. I hope that was beneficial to you all as it was to me. And thank you all for tuning in. Do share the knowledge and the links that you receive. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.